Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, this is T-Rex, Milano T-Rex. Now this is the second part of the series, Let's Create Manga. The first one was about characters and plot, so please check it out if you haven't, and just by clicking the screen here, anywhere in the screen, it will take you to the previous video, and then come back to this one. So this is a text that I have done for the story, so in case if you're not the type of people who make a draft sketch and send it to the artist as a writer. So if you do it through writing everything in details on text, then this is what you're more likely to be doing. So I'm just putting out the characters here. Now again, those are French, the Japanese girl, Egyptian, and the Russian lady. So, and the merchant right there. And now the ladies walking to the fruit shop and all that. You see all in details. So it's not only the conversation that goes on, but also what they're thinking and their emotions and all that. So the artist can actually see it. So for example, this one. Now this image is for the merchant, right? So the merchant is concerned. What smell? Let me put this one here so I can put my draft sketch for you. So you can see in the draft sketch that the merchant says that what smell, and now I have that look on his face. But here you cannot show it to the artist, so you put it down in words, right? For example, here when the merchant explains that hashi means chopsticks, and a lot of spelling mistakes. So anyway, so this is what is it like to make a text. So those are the two methods that I have discussed in the previous video. Again, check it out in case if you didn't. And yeah, let's resume with our sketch for now. Now this is Clip Paint Studio, and I want to show you overall what is the interface like. Okay, so over here you have the tools, and of course those are the properties of the tools. It also configurable, so you can actually move it the way you want. But I'm kind of comfortable with it that way. And here you can these are the layers, of course, and those are the layer properties here. And this one, the canvas. Zoom in, zoom out, rotate the page, and all that. You can also set shortcuts to do all those functions here. So yeah, push this button to get it back upright. And then let's go over these, okay? So this is the I'm not sure if you guys really want to know this. It's it's kind of basic, but those are the hands. To move the objects, selection tool, auto select tool, color drop, pick up ink, pencil, brushes, spray, the effects, eraser, blender, color filler, another color filler, gradient, and you have this. What is this? Interesting, I don't know about this one. These are the shapes and layers and all that, right? And then you have the text here, and this is for the vectors. I'm gonna include the vectors in the inking video. So I used my keyboard to go with the shortcuts. So now this video is about sketching, and we're going to sketch out the layout of the page and the panels and all that. Just a sketch, so we can just kind of prepare everything for inking and to the final product, right? Okay. You go to this tool right here, and this is going to lead you to shapes, frames, rulers, streams, and saturation, I believe. I'm not sure. I think saturation that is. So, alright, so we'll go with frames. And the way that I do it, is that I select the rectangular frame and then select the whole thing that it's going to be the frame in which I'm going to draw, right? So it's going to be this one. I'm just going to turn off this layer right here, so at least see the underlying layers. And what happens here is that it creates a folder, okay? So your panel, this whole thing is a panel, right? Now it sees it as a panel, and it's all included in one folder. So you have, pre-made layers, so you can actually start drawing or whatever you want to do here, ink and whatever. And this one is the frame background that going to just include anything that it's in the layer, right? So anything under the layer is not included. And actually, this is really useful in terms of text bubbles and side effects. I'm going to show you that later when the time comes, but just don't want to pack this up all with random information, you know. So this is the sketch layer that we're going to use. So I'm going to move it inside the folder, right? So even if we have this on, it won't be a problem since this is inside the folder. I usually just delete an extra the Excel layer so I don't, don't get confused. And with that, we can, I'm sorry about that. And with that, we can continue dividing the page. And you have two ways of doing it. Either going for divide frame folder or divide frame border. I go with the border. And I'm going to tell you the difference between the two. Let's go with the folder for now. So if I go with the folder, now you see, it is a folder. It's another folder, right? And why I don't like this, it's because it's gonna have way too many layers, right? You can actually just have the same result just only by dividing the same folder. You just can divide it and you still have one layer and you can put everything there, right? And one more thing. So if you divide it into folders, okay? Now, if I use a screen tone here, for example, say this is the screen tone that I'm using just right here. Okay, so this is a screen tone, right? Now, if I want to use the same value, the same density, the same screen tone, the same properties, in this case, I will need to do the same thing over here, right? Or just turn this off and use the screen tones from here, and you actually can't see because it's masked, right? It really gets messy and complicated. So that's why I just like it with no folders, just borders, right? So you basically just click that and click and drag, right? Click and drag. You can also adjust them from here, adjust your layer. And I would go with those properties that I use for my manga, and I'm just going to keep it from now so I don't mess things up for myself. And usually the horizontal border is actually thicker than the vertical. So usually you would see that in manga. And by pressing shift, I choose to make it parallel to the ground, if you will. So if I go with shift, you can move it the way you want. Press down shift, here you go. And I'm just going to give it this way. That way, this way, and boom, we have it now. This is our panel. Alright, let me make sure about something. Does it have ink? Yeah, it is ink. Sometimes it would give me just a hard time. Finish the drawing and then find that all of a sudden I realized that it had no ink. I think it's probably an error that was fixed recently with the most recent versions. So anyway. Okay, now there's something else that I want to tell you here. So do you think this is interesting? The answer is no, not at all. So the thing that I usually do is that, now let me do this. Now as you can see here, we want something to be interesting. So whenever you have something that jumps into the to the audience, you want it to have a bigger panel. So for example, I'll make this a bigger panel here, just for the sake of this video, just like so. So I want to have a wide panel just for the whole shot to be visible. It's more dramatic. You can actually control it here, so you can make it snap the frame border, and I turned this on, so I want it to be the same thing on both sides. I think with this we can now start sketching. So we already have the sketch layer, and we shall get started. I need a reference, and I'm having on my iPad the default characters, so I can actually have a reference to that. And why a reference would be really important, it's because now you have, so for example, so many pages, right? Here, and there. So I'm gonna put another one here. So now, when you draw a character here, now you have an idea about how the character is gonna look like, right? Let's say this is the character. So you're gonna draw the character here once, looking at this one, right? And then you don't need the reference anymore because you already have him here. You can look at him and do it next, right? Hold on. So you can do it next. They look the same. They look the same. They look the same. But you go back to the first one. Now these guys are different, right? This guy has a longer head. You know, his eyes is upwards more than this guy. He looks older. Maybe you can give him a mustache. You didn't even realize that until you look at the first page. So you know, this is the problem that artists usually face, and I faced that in my manga. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. So that's why I have the reference right here on my iPad on my right, and on my left I have the panels and the outfit or the costumes. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's start sketching. Make sure you flip your canvas from time to time to detect mistakes. And if you're doing it traditionally, then you just wanna, just take a break. Go for not really a little walk, but as you go, for example, to the get something for a snack or something like that. You come back, you realize, oh my god, this is something I did not realize. A huge mistake that you haven't seen. And yeah. Or if you don't have time for that, you can just Google something that is similar to this. So for example, here I'm gonna go just front view manga face, something like that, and then keep scrolling down. With that, I kind of get my eyes see appropriate proportions. So when I get back to my drawing, I kind of see the mistakes that I hadn't seen. Now to sketch the body, it's easy to sketch the head this way, but if you want to sketch the body, you don't have to go line by line and all that. This time, you have to go really messy, and something like that. So this is kind of boring if I have them just with that viewpoint. So profile and viewpoints tend to be really boring, right? These are two boring viewpoints. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. So now that I have a front viewpoint face, I need to make something interesting with the body. So I'm gonna tilt the body just a little bit to that side. And probably I'm gonna make it. Now you see the draft sketch is not anything like this, but the second time you sketch, you usually get something interesting and kind of see what you need to put here and there, right? So in this case, I realized that I need something else for him to do. So it's not just greeting the customers. I'm gonna make him look that he's been doing something and then got distracted by the customers. I'm gonna start with the Japanese girl because she's the closest to the camera. Now you see that I have made the hands asymmetrical. The more asymmetrical it is, the more interesting the art it is to the eyes. I'm gonna change this hand position because this position looks like she's fighting. Sometimes when you're at the border, you have problems. Usually, I see a lot of people doing it. So you're gonna push your drawing inwards a little bit. I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna just have a fast draft sketch, something like this. And now that I know the position and the correct size for the Russian girl, I'm gonna move her right over here to have the full freedom to draw her. Or even you see, because of the border was there, I made her head tilt that way, right? But this time it works fine with me, so I'm just gonna keep it tilted. That's one of the things that I always tend to forget. The place where the bubble is going to be, the speech bubble. So that's this way. So you're kind of telling the viewer that he's doing something at the edge right there. It's not something important for the story, but he's busy doing something else. He's working, right? He's working. And the bubble is gonna be right here, like that. Now this takes us to the end of our video here today, and I hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, again, just post them there in the comment section below. And for now, you guys stay tuned.